Hey guys, in this video we're going to talk about forming habits. Good habits, hopefully. So I'm Daniel Norton, photographer here in New York. I make videos like this about philosophy, about technique, and we're sitting out here by the lake. Today I was going for a walk, which is a habit I'm trying to form, and made me think to make this video. So hope you guys are doing okay. So one of the trickiest things to do is when you want to make a change and you make this goal. You might say, hey, I want to get in better shape, or I want to be a better photographer, right? Or I want to learn how to do Photoshop, or I want to learn how to, light or whatever. It can seem incredibly daunting. So one way to kind of get past that, and maybe we can work on now since a lot of us are kind of sheltered in place, is to start forming the habits a little bit at a time. And what I find that works really well is to give yourself something really simple as a goal. So I actually have in my hand a book, because I was just talking to a friend of mine the other day about this, and he was like, I wish I could read more, but I tend to get tired. I'm just, I don't read enough. And I thought, well, I have the same problem. And I really, about a year and a half ago, I said the same thing. I was like, man, I would love to read more, but I just don't have time, or I don't, when I start reading, my eyes get tired, whatever. And then I realized if I look at a giant book, this is a small book, if I look at a giant book, it's going to be daunting. It's like, oh, it's 900 pages, and oh, I only read 5 pages to that. Seems terrible. So I told him what I did, and what I still do sometimes, is I started reading short stories. Because a short story that's like 5 to 10, 15 pages, even if you only read a couple of pages a day, in a week you finish that story. So you have these like goals inside, right? Now I'm up to the point where I dedicate myself to 30 pages a day, which is my kind of standard. And I'm reading books that are like about 200 pages long, so I can finish about a book a week. It gives me, again, I'm reaching these goals. I have a stack of bigger books that are like 900 pages, 800 pages that I want to read, and I'm building myself up to it, even after all this time, although I've enjoyed so many of these short books that I have a huge stack of books. That's a whole other problem. We'll deal with that later. Anyways, but the same thing is true for your creativity right now, right? You might feel like, okay, like where do I start? I don't have things around me. What am I going to do? I say dedicate like 2 to 5 minutes a day, guaranteed. You can do more, and you will do more on some days, to just focus on your creativity and what it might be. So let's say, for instance, you want to learn, you want to get better at composition. Well, have your camera sitting there before you go to bed. I recommend doing these things in the morning if you can, because that's usually the time that we don't want to do anything. And once we do it, we'll kind of like get the energy going. So get your camera ready, have it battery loaded, SD card in it, whatever. And when you get up, or you assign yourself the time to do that, just pick the camera up and just walk around, looking through the camera, looking at things in your house, your environment, wherever you are, and trying to make interesting compositions with what's there. Because one of the trickiest things to do is get past that subject thing, right? A lot of people are like, well, but I want to photograph, whatever, and interesting people, and I'm in my house and I don't have interesting people to photograph. Okay, that might be true, but you have stuff. Everything can make a composition. The trees that I'm walking through here, there's actually it's kind of a cool log that I have the camera sitting on, and these things can be interesting. Just like macro yourself down to it and focus on something. You just make interesting compositions. You don't ever show anybody anything. Take some pictures. Just work on it, right? If it's lighting you're trying to figure out, walk around to your house at different times of day and look for, let's say, pick a window. Let's say you have a window over here. Pick a different hour every day to look at something, maybe put something on a table near the window, and look at it through the camera, with the camera's eye, because it's important, at a different hour every day for this whole week. Like spread it out clearly, like a couple hours apart. So you can see the difference between like in the morning what it looks like, or in the afternoon or the evening. You can see how light is different in the room at different times of day and how that affects the subject. And just spend a couple minutes. You'll probably find yourself spending a lot more time. Like I've been committing myself to walk now, because I've been sitting inside and it's getting crazy. So, like today, for instance, I'm much further than I thought I was going to be. I was like, I'm going to walk down to that path over there. And then I got there, and actually where I wanted to go, there was a bunch of people. So, and of course, we're trying to social distance. So I saw another path this way, and I've been walking now for, I don't know, twice as long as I had planned, and I'm enjoying myself. And then I thought, well, I better sit down and make this video, give myself a little break, because I stopped to have some water. And I thought this was a good spot to do it. But now I'm going to walk more, and I'm enjoying it. And when I was sitting on my couch an hour ago, I did not feel like walking. I can tell you that right now. I was about to throw on the next show on Netflix, and I was like, nope, every day I'm going to do this a little bit at this time. So I got up and did it. And one way that we can also focus on this, guys, is if you are having to work at home, and that's new for you, because I had to learn this a long time ago when I started working for myself, is make sure you keep a good, steady schedule. If let's say that you teleconference into work, so let's assume you're working at 9 a.m., your time, wherever, You know, when you used to get up at 6:30 so you could get ready and then have breakfast and then go for the drive or the train or whatever. And now you're like, well, geez, I don't have to teleconference until 9 o'clock and then nobody's looking at me so I can get up at 8:30. Don't do that. Still get up at 6:30. Take that extra time to do something. Don't just sleep it away, right? Take an opportunity where this is a terrible, terrible situation. If you're healthy and if you're sheltered and you're in a decent spot like that, like you don't have to, you don't have immediate threats to you, take this time to be creative, to start doing something. If you're like, well, I don't have any books, well, order one. You know, have a book shipped to you. Pick up an ebook. You know, if that was your goal. If your goal is to do something with lighting, you know, look around like I was talking about, and I'm gonna actually do mine at night, so we'll put a picture up soon. I'll do a little video on my one light bulb challenge. Just get a light bulb from anywhere. Like literally take any light that you have and light something as a challenge. Put away your studio strobes, whatever you might be using, your fancy stuff, and just break it down to the most simple thing. That's going to help you kind of focus back on the fundamentals, which hopefully will rev us all up to do cool stuff. By the way, I'll also mention, because I mentioned in a video a while back when we were talking about audio, because I was using lavalier mics, I forgot when I was walking, I thought I might do this, so I threw my stuff in my bag, but I brought my lavs, but I didn't bring the cable because I had it plugged into my other camera. So I'm actually wired. So you can very easily wire. I mean, clearly you can see the wire, but who cares, right? Do you care that you can see a wire here? No, right? I mean, you can hear me well. That's what's important. So this is just a Rode Smart Lav plugged into. I'm using the Osmo right now. So hopefully that's helpful, guys. Be creative. Dedicate yourself 2 minutes to just think of something that you really wanted to do and break it down into some simple thing that you can do for 2 minutes a day. You know, that will get you towards that goal. And let me know. Comment below like things that you've been wanting to do. It could be anything. It could be photography related, obviously, since that's basically what we're here for. But if it's something else and you guys have wanted to do, commit to do it. Put it in writing. Put it in writing on my comment because I'll hold you to it. Comment below what you guys are trying to do. Let me know what you guys want to see. I'm going to try to, a few people have said, try to shoot some stuff, and I'm going to do the light bulb challenge, and I'll make a little video in my house for that. I'll try to do a few more technique videos in the house. You know, I'm just like you, right? I'm kind of, don't have all my gear. You know, maybe some of you guys, you know, there's a lot of bugs here. So, you know, I'm kind of in the situation too, so I can't go out and tell you to create if I'm not going to do it. So I will definitely start posting some more how-to, if you will, videos from my house coming up this week. I'm going to, again, try to do these every day. It's Sunday, so happy Sunday for you guys. Again, any questions, go ahead and post in the comments below or DM me or whatever, and, you know, we'll definitely talk about it. Anything, you know, anything you want to see on this that is reasonable, I will try to do. I mean, you know, related to photo, blah, 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 this, you know, being creative, that kind of stuff. Not just random weird questions because I might not know the answer to that. So anyways, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe, ring the bell so you get all notifications, and I'll see you tomorrow.